You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, you know, the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And of course, we're celebrating today. Climb a mountain day. Do you know, I got bad knees and that doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun to me. I have some friends that like that one, but no, not National Climb a Mountain Day. National Whistleblower Day. Okay, you need those. But having beaten anorexia, I'm just going with National Cheesecake Day. I'm a fan of cheesecake. I like cheesecake. National Cheesecake Day. We've got a wide variety right there. There's some, looks like there might be a traditional one there on the far right. And like that chocolate one. I don't know, that's strawberry or raspberry on the other one. Can't tell, but it's a great picture if you're watching us on any of our social channels. And of course, got the whipped cream on all of them. So National Cheesecake Day. What is your favorite flavor of cheesecake? I will share that my mom used to make the best blueberry cheesecake, homemade blueberry cheesecake. It was really good. And somehow she knew how to freeze it. And somehow from the time she made it, she put it in the freezer and then she'd go to grab it again to use it to serve it. And I don't know how it happened, but sometimes there were pieces missing. Have you ever had that happen in your house? Have you ever been the one that took care of that for the house? And I did it with, she's gone now, so I guess I can say that. So it did happen when we were talking about cheesecake. It happened sometimes when we were dealing with cookies. Yeah, okay. What's your favorite flavored cheesecake? Oh, there's a whole bunch of you online. Put your favorite flavor of cheesecake right there in the chat or in the comment section. If you're listening to us on the radio, yell at the radio. We will hear you. So just give us your favorite flavor of cheesecake while I continue looking at the markets for you. What are the markets doing today? Ooh, the NASDAQ is down 244 points. Yeah, that's a painful one. Probably led by NVIDIA that's down, I think, 6% this morning. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 17.73. The S&P 500 is down 40. Oil down $1.17 a barrel. If the president was awake, he might know that maybe he wants to fill some of the strategic petroleum reserve, but I'm sure that he's probably still sleeping. We have been led to believe that he's on duty from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's just a warning or a notice. So any of our adversaries, if you want to attack the U.S., if you want, and I don't encourage that at all, if you're, anything that you're doing, if you want to talk or get a hold of the President of the United States, he's around 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Just throw that out there for you. Do we want to look at what gas prices are doing? I love listening to some of these folks on social channels because we do share some of these things on our channels. Right now, we're at $3.49.9 as the average price of a gallon of gasoline. Not in California. That would be a national number, $3.49.9. California is $4.65.2, just ever so slightly less than yesterday. This is regular gasoline. So checking all of these out. Let's should we go around the horn and check it out? Josh is under $4 a gallon. He's still, if you look at the map on AAA, so the red zone is the highest price states in the union. You're there, Josh. You're still in that higher priced area at $3.99. I don't think you have near the regulation we do. And there's a individual that goes on our Facebook pages. Anytime we put anything about gas on there, he's really quick to post on there that it's greedy oil companies. Now, I don't know whether it's greedy or not. I just look and I say, okay. And in Tennessee, we had John Hammond on last week or the week before. They're paying $3.10. So they're not greedy in Tennessee. Or Mississippi at $2.97. I don't think the truckers really even want to go to Mississippi to deliver gas. So Louisiana, $3.06. So all these areas, they're I guess they like them better. Now, even Idaho, which is one of the higher priced areas, $3.61. So when they say about us not liking California or greedy, how do you define greed when it's only to a certain state? Maybe it has to do with that state more than oil companies. Maybe it has to do with the taxes and the fees. Just throw that out there for you. We're watching all of it for you. Speaking of watching it for you, I thought I would take a look today. And yes, I can do this because I've got it right in front of me. Not from a political standpoint, although I do get political sometimes, but just from a fact-based standpoint. What does Kamala Harris stand on economic issues? So, she is most likely going to be the appointed. I didn't think you appointed people for office, especially for president, where no one got to vote for her in any kind of a primary. Wonder what you think that could be because of what happened the last time she ran for president in a primary. I digress. So let's take a look and see. Key pillars of the Biden-Harris administration's economic vision as outlined in a 2023 House statement include making smart public investments in America that attracts more private sector investment, including Inflation Reduction Act. Well, you know better than that one, right?
You know better than that.
That didn't help us much. The CHIPS and Science Act, as well as the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Oh.
I got a bad feeling about
Empowering
this.
and educating workers to grow the middle class through moves like forgiving student debt for qualifying borrowers, supporting unionization and collective bargaining, and investing in registered apprenticeships. Under the Biden-Harris administration, the U.S. has seen some of the lowest unemployment in decades and strong wage gains that have outpaced inflation. Well, you can tell that this was not written by anybody that understands economics because the wages have not outpaced inflation. We've actually gone backwards. And we're starting to head north on the jobs front. So not a good right there either. Promoting competition to lower costs and help entrepreneurship and small businesses to thrive. Don't tell that to the small businesses because a lot of them are having a lot of trouble right now. Let's see, they're going to have to contend with inflation as a messaging obstacle because we see what happens when we go to the grocery store. Not because of anything else. We feel it. We don't have to be told that the economy is doing great when we go to the grocery store and eggs are double, butter is triple. The things that we're using, I ordered, yes, I am lazy, so I got a shipment from Costco online yesterday, or same day Costco, and the same chicken that I used to pay about $20 a package for was $34. Now, is that helping the middle class? I'm certainly not anything above middle class, so you just have to wonder about some of these things. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, the biggest mistakes sellers are making right now, how to remove collection accounts from your credit report, and how to shop for a credit card and minimize the impact to your credit. All that and more. Reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1065. 1-990-800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less? All without having to spend more each month than you spend right now. Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. We're ready for that next home loan. Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make that call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates. With consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions Nationwide, they don't tell us points paid, points received, APR. They only tell us the number you put in the mortgage calculator to find out what your principal and interest payment will be. If you don't have a mortgage calculator, we've got a mobile app for you. RonIsMyLender.com. RonIsMyLender.com. You can get the mobile app. Well, we had 3 scoreboard, 3 down, 1 up, 1 flat. I think it's the first time we've had a flat one, Josh, isn't it? I don't remember seeing that. Oh no, we've had it before. Okay. Conventional loans, 30-year fixed down 6.702. Jumbo loans, 30-year fixed down 7.014. FHA loans down 30-year again 6.512. VA loans, 30-year fixed 6.308. That was up. And the USDA loan, rural areas, generally no down payment, flat 6.575. Now, remember, there's several loan level price adjustments that go into every one of these numbers. So just remember that when you're thinking, I'm going to get that rate. And every day, if you want our market commentary, our market thoughts, rsrmarketminute.com, rsrmarketminute.com. We send that out each day as early as the data allows, rsrmarketminute.com. Let's take a look and see what's going on today in the markets. We've got the S&P 500 now down 38 points. We've got the 10-year Treasury flat, 4.16, 4.17. Mortgage-backed securities flat. That's down 1 basis point, so we'll call that flat. 101.06. Remember, when the bond goes down, rates go up. But when it's down 1 basis point, don't even worry about it. It's not enough to even think about. Why? Well, because the Federal Reserve is meeting today. They're going to be giving us their report tomorrow, 11 o'clock California time, West Coast time. They'll have their statement, or what's their press conference will be at 11:30 California time. So let's see what's going on in the market. So home appreciation reports, home price gains continue. Case-Shiller Home Price Index, which is the gold standard for appreciation, showed that home prices rose 0.3% in May, rising to another all-time high. The 0.3% gain is seasonally adjusted number, which takes into account the typically stronger appreciation seen during this time of year. Non-seasonally adjusted figure rose 0.9% in the month alone. Prices are now up 5.9% year over year, down from 6.4% in the previous report. But this was due to a high comparison from last year that was replaced. One of Case-Shiller analysts, Brian DeLuke, said, quote, "While annual gains have decelerated recently, this may have more to do with the 2023 than 2024, as the recent performance remains encouraging. Our home price index has appreciated 4.1% year to date, the fastest start in 2 years," unquote. He goes on to talk about the cost of waiting, saying the waiting game for the possibility of favorable changes in lending rates continues to be costly for potential buyers as home prices march forward, unquote. If you want to see what our thoughts are on that or what that might mean for you, rsrlinks.com/RVO. 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 That is the rent versus own report that we do. rsrlinks.com/RVO. Continuing on. With the FHFA came out with their number. That's a Federal Housing Finance Agency, released their house price index, which measures home price appreciation on single-family homes with the conforming loan amounts. Different than Case-Shiller, it does not include cash buyers or jumbo loans. The FHFA reported that home prices were flat in May and are up 5.7 year over year, which is down from 6.5 in the previous report. The deceleration year over year is once again due to higher readings this time last year that were replaced by lower figures. Just remember, when you're looking at 5.7, that's a healthy number. We don't want to get confused by saying it's slowing. You'll hear that on some of the media that the prices are dropping. No, they're not dropping. 5.7 is a very, very healthy number, probably healthier than when it's going up 6 or 7 or 8%. Why? Because those other numbers are not sustainable. We like to keep a number that's sustainable and not too much. When they go up too dramatically, what ends up happening is they can go down dramatically. Both reports, previous reading for April was revised higher by 0.1%, showing that we saw even stronger appreciation than originally reported. Without this, we would have seen stronger monthly readings in this report. Bottom line, home price appreciation remains strong. Despite higher mortgage rates and increasing inventory, home values continue to set new all-time highs, and housing still proves to be one of the best investments. Those who have been waiting for rates to come down have missed a huge financial opportunity. Home prices rose 6% in 2022, 6% in 2023, and 4% so far to date, 2024. That means over the last 30 months, home prices have risen on average 17% compounded. Using a median home price of $350,000 30 months ago, if you waited for rates to improve, you would have missed almost $60,000 wealth creation opportunity. Think about that. Get in the game now. I was consulting with some folks yesterday, and they were asking about when they should buy or should they wait. And I always ask, what do you think the catalysts are for waiting? What do you think is going to cause the market to prices to drop? Well, we think interest rates are going to drop because that's what I keep hearing on the news. Well, you're right. Interest rates probably will drop. But if you've been waiting for them to drop since last year, did you miss out on 30%? Think about that. That's massive. Now, they use the 30% in some of these reports are using median home price nationwide. We aren't nationwide. We live in California. I'm broadcasting right now from Orange County. $1.2 million median home price. 30%. Even if it was just $1 million, that's $300,000 in 30 months. What would that look like for you? If you bought $1 million house, think about this, and you put 10% down, or you put 3.5%, but I'm going to use 10%. So you bought $1 million house, you put $100,000 down, and your $1 million house is worth $1.3 million. So the return on your capital is $300,000 over $100,000. Pretty good number, isn't it? Now let's think about this from another standpoint. How much do you make a year? Now, to qualify for a $300,000 house, or for $1 million house, you're probably making somewhere around $200,000. And you just gained $300,000 in 30 months. So that's almost adding another income, not quite, but another income to your household, and you didn't have to do anything. I share all the time. There's only two ways to make money in this country. One is off of your efforts. One is to have your money working for you, or off of someone else's efforts, or hire them, right? That's the two ways. Your money working for you is you're hiring somebody else. So it's off your own back or other way, or getting your money working for you. Think about that. JOLTS reports, the June JOLTS data showed the job openings fell from 8.23 million to 8.18 million, but the previous report was revised higher by almost 100,000. Without that, openings would have risen. Zooming out, the level of job openings has moderated and is down 10% from last year. We're still above pre-pandemic levels, but the world has changed. And with work from anywhere, there's a ton of double counting, as we've talked about that in the past. We can make some estimates using sectors like leisure and hospitality, where in most cases you have to show up and cannot work remote. When modeling off of that, we believe job openings are being overstated by about 1.4 million, which would bring the total level of openings down to 6.8 million, below the pre-pandemic figures. Leisure and hospitalities broke a 2-month losing streak and rose 100,000, but this is a bit questionable based on everything else we're hearing from all the earnings calls from companies within the sector, all pointing to weakness. Hiring rate fell to just 3.4%, which is the slowest since 2013, not counting COVID, and not far from the COVID low of 3.1%. Quit rate was reported at 2.1%, which was unchanged after the previous report. It was revised lower from 2.2 to 2.1. This breaks a 6-month streak of 2.2%, and the current reading of 2.1 is the lowest since 2018 when we omit COVID. This shows weakness in the labor market, as a lower quit rate means less people feel confident about getting a new job, less poaching from other companies. Bottom line, We continue to see more weakness in the labor market as there's less hiring, less quits, and for firings of late, according to the initial jobless claims report. We'll see about the BLS report that comes out on Friday. Also, construction jobs were down in the JOLTS report. That's a leading indicator that's not good for the economy. Consumer confidence from the Conference Board released their consumer confidence report for July, showing that their index rose from 97.8 to 100.3, which was stronger than the estimated 99.7. Looking at the components, the present situation index, based on consumer assessment of current business and labor market conditions, declined from 133.6 to 135.3 last month. Consumers' assessment of the current labor market fell to its lowest level since March 2021, a little over 3 years ago. Bottom line, confidence increased slightly, but consumers were still generally negative about business and employment conditions ahead and less positive about the current situation. That is the Mortgage Minute. I think it was many more than a minute, but that's a Mortgage Minute. Brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You have a phone, make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. When we come back, again, we'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com. Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference in the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
We're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just needed some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today, being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Biggest mistake sellers are making right now is our subject today. Let's see if I can enlarge this so I can actually see it. Housing market is going through a transition. Higher mortgage rates are causing more moderate buyer activity. At the same time, the supply of homes for sale is growing. And if you aren't working with an agent, you may not realize that here's the downside. If you're not informed, you can't adjust your strategy or expectations to today's market. And that can lead to a number of costly mistakes. Here's a look at some of the most common ones and how an agent will help you avoid them. Number one, overpricing your house. Yeah, that's a biggie right there, isn't it? Try to see if I can turn up the light on my screen here. It's for some reason, there we go. Many sellers set their asking price too high, and that's why there's an uptick in homes with price reductions today. An unrealistic price will deter potential buyers, cause an appraisal issue, or lead to your house sitting on the market longer. An article from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, quote, some sellers are pricing their homes higher than average just because they can, but this may drive away serious buyers and result in unapproved appraisals, unquote. To avoid falling into this trap, partner with a pro. An agent uses recent sales of similar homes, the condition of your house, local market trends, and so much more to find the price that'll attract more buyers and open the door for multiple offers and a faster sale. Number two, skipping the small stuff. You may try to skip important repairs, thinking you can pass the task on to your buyer. But visible issues, even if they're small, can turn off potential buyers and result in lower offers or demands for concessions. As Money Talk News says, quote, home shoppers like to turn on lights, flush toilets, and run the water. These basic things don't work. They may assume you've skipped other maintenance. Homes that appear neglected aren't likely to fetch top price, unquote. If you want to get your house ready to sell, the best place to turn for advice is your agent. They'll be able to walk through with you and point out anything you'll need to tackle before the photographer comes in. And they should be able to give you an idea from history. They can't make any guarantees, but from history, they should be able to give you an idea that if you spend $100, you can expect that we might be able to get $110, $120 more on the sale of the property. And yes, I know we're dealing in thousands. I just use small numbers to make it understandable and simple. If they're going to tell you that you got to spend $1,000, you can only raise the price by $500, why would you do it? Doesn't make sense. Number three, not looking at things objectively. Buyers today are feeling the pinch of high home prices and mortgage rates. With affordability that tight, they may come in with an offer that's lower than you'd want to see, especially if you don't stage, price, or market the house well. It's important you don't take this personally. Getting overly emotional can put the sale at risk. As an article from Ramsey Solutions says, quote, remember, a buyer's offer is not a reflection of their opinion of your home or your housekeeping abilities. The sale of your home is strictly a business transaction. If they start out with a low offer, don't take it personally and get emotional. Instead, channel that energy toward negotiating. Work with your agent and make a counter offer, unquote. That's why we've done with the payment reduction plan. If you haven't seen our payment reduction plan, counter the offer with a payment reduction. Say, I'm going to keep my price at $1 million. I know you offered me $900,000, but I'm going to keep it at $1 million, and I'll give you $30,000 toward a payment reduction program. Good agents will understand this. If they don't, give us a call at 800-306-1990. We'll explain it and structure it so that it is compliant. Number 4, being unwilling to negotiate. The supply of homes for sale has grown. That means buyers have more options. That's the idea there. And with that comes more negotiation power. As a seller, you may see more buyers getting an inspection, requesting repairs, or asking for help with closing costs today. You need to be prepared to have those conversations. A U.S. News Real Estate explains, quote, if you've received an offer for your house that isn't quite what you'd hoped it would be, expect to negotiate. The only way to come to a successful deal is to make sure the buyer also feels like he or she benefits. Consider offering to cover some of the buyer's closing costs or agree to a credit for a minor repair the inspector found, unquote. An agent will walk you through what levers you may want to pull based on your own goals, budget, and time frame. If you recall, we spoke to John Hammond, we spoke to Jeff Clark about having the home inspection done ahead of time. You get the home inspection done. You're going to have to pay for it. And then you can put right in your commentary, or your agent can, we had a home inspection done and we've already corrected these items, house being sold as is. Doesn't mean it's going to happen that way, but you can always put that right in there into your notes. Number 5, not using a real estate agent. Notice anything for each of these mistakes. Partnering with an agent helps prevent them from happening in the first place. That makes trying to sell your house without an agent's help the biggest mistake of all. Real estate agents have experience and expertise in pricing, marketing, negotiating, and more. That knowledge streamlines the selling process and usually results in drumming up more interest and ultimately can get you a higher final price. That's the whole idea. Ironically enough, studies have shown that people that sell their house themselves will get 14% less than what an agent will get. 14%. And you got to do all the work. You got to show the house. You got to negotiate it. You got to be liable for all the contracts. You have to have all the paperwork and know how to complete the contracts. Negotiating. Unbelievable. To get 14% less. Think about that whole concept right there. I know people don't think it, but it is the case. If you want to avoid making these mistakes like this, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Let's see. What do we have on docket now? How to remove collections from your credit report. That is Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com. How to remove for some reason, how to remove collection accounts from your credit report. There it is. Collection accounts are bad for your credit. Does that surprise anybody at all? Yeah, we've talked about that.
Surprise.
These negative marks on your credit report indicate you might not pay your bills on time or ever, which is why lenders don't like to see them. Collection accounts can stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. This makes it harder to get approved for credit during that time. Learning how to remove collections from your credit report can help you clean up your credit history and open better financial doors in the future. I'm going to tell you some of the methodologies here, but I'll tell you at the end the easy way. What are collection accounts? When a lender doesn't receive payments for a line of credit, they may choose to eventually sell that credit to a debt collection agency to get some of their money back. That line of credit will then be reported to the credit reporting bureaus as a collection account for a credit card, personal loan, etc. And the debt collection agency will then try to collect on that debt for themselves. For you, that means that if you have a debt in collections, you may have the collection agencies contacting you to collect on your debt, and your credit score will likely have gone down because of that collections account. How to remove collections from your credit report? Before we get into the nitty-gritty, we need to level with you. Collection accounts are not easy to remove. Before you proceed with an action plan, make sure your expectations are realistic. If a collection account on your credit report is accurate and you pay it off, it will not just disappear. To remove an item completely, you'll have to negotiate with the debt collection agency and ask for a goodwill removal. They will tell you they can't do it. Yes, they can. If you have a lot of inaccurate collection accounts on your report, you might need help from a reputable credit repair agency, Blue Water Credit. Credit repair agencies can help navigate credit bureau territory, and they frequently can help consumers understand how to handle trickier situations. Before you commit to a do-it-yourself approach to collection removal, the following steps may help you clear up your credit profile. Number one, review your credit report and validate the accurate data. Cleanall3.com. Cleanall3.com is the source we recommend for that. Obtain copies of your credit reports from all three credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Each credit bureau has different information about you. Therefore, if you challenge an unsubstantiated collection account on all your credit reports, you'll have to create disputes with each credit bureau. You're entitled to one free credit report per bureau each year. They're doing it every week now. To get your credit reports, head to the annualcreditreport.com. That will not give you your scores. It gives you the report. You'll be able to view all the information on your file at each agency, but you will not see credit scores. To see a quick credit snapshot and your information credit score, go to cleanall3.com, cleanall3.com. Review the items on your credit report to make sure they're accurate. Do you recognize the listed lenders? Does your account information seem accurate? Are the items on your report familiar to you? If you fell behind with payments on an account, when did it happen? With all that information in hand, you'll be ready to make your next move. Dispute inaccuracies. Credit bureaus are not allowed to report inaccurate or incomplete information. Therefore, if any of the information you see on your report is incomplete, inaccurate, or not verifiable, you have the right to challenge the accuracy of that item. When a credit bureau receives a challenge, it has between 30 and 45 days to investigate and confirm or correct the information it holds on file about you. You can dispute inaccuracies online by sending a letter. If you choose the online route, sign up for a free account. I do not recommend this. It is there, but don't do it. If you choose to send a letter, that's the right way to do it. Include the following: a copy of your credit report with the inaccurate information circled, identifying information about the inaccurate account, including the account number, why the information is inaccurate, what you want the credit bureau to do, like remove the information or edit for inaccuracy. Send any backup information that illustrates you're correct in your dispute. Send a copy of a utility bill, a government ID, and your social security number. They already have all that information. They just want to make sure it's coming from you. Number 3, send a pay for delete letter. You can't get accurate information removed from your, if you can't get accurate information from your report through a dispute. However, you may be able to get a debt collection agency to remove a collection from your report if you agree to pay the debt. Here's how to remove paid collections from your credit report, or at least try to do so. Send a letter to the debt collection agency or ask via phone for this option. If the agency agrees, get the agreement in writing. Pay the debt. Follow up to make sure the debt is removed from your report. Note this is a long shot, as many debt collection agencies won't change accurate information on the credit reports. The agency may have an agreement with the credit bureaus not to do so. But if they don't confirm it, guess what? They have to remove it. Number 4, pay down collection accounts. If you can't get a paid collection account removed from your credit report, it may be a good idea to work on paying it. A collection account that is paid looks less negative on your credit report than an account that's still open. Therefore, this may earn you a bit of goodwill with future creditors. Plus, a paid collection account may have a smaller impact on your credit score than an unpaid. Number 5, ask for goodwill deletions. If you have an excellent credit history, you may be able to get the original creditor or collection agency to remove the derogatory mark as a favor or act of goodwill. You'll generally have to pay the collection account off first, though if you haven't already done so. If you have an otherwise blemish-free credit history, go ahead and ask the financial institution for goodwill deletion. Removal after payment might be against their rules, but goodwill deletions might not be. And it never hurts to ask. Don't be afraid to wait and check back. Waiting might not be an instant fix, but it's usually a successful tactic. If you need some help on this, our friend Chris Corrales does this all the time for listeners of Ron Siegel Radio. All you have to do is give me a call at 800-306-1990. We'll put you in touch with Chris, and you can actually get that done for you. Your Credit Matters, brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. When we come back, let's see. We got Borrow Smart, how to shop for a credit card to minimize the impact of your credit to your credit and more. Reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@ronsiegelradio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. How to shop for a credit card and minimize the impact to your credit. Losing several FICO score points after applying for a credit card is not uncommon. Not a lot of points. There's some points, but not a lot. This happens because a new credit application usually triggers a credit inquiry, which accounts for 10% of your FICO score. Think about this part of it. A perfect FICO score is 850. The FICO scores have a range of 350 to 850. That's 500 points. 10% of 500 points is 50 points. So if you went from 850 to 800, you still got a great score. So most people worry about this part of it, but it is one of the smaller items that affect your scoring. To get the best credit card deal, it's important to shop around and compare offers. Naturally, you'll also want to protect your credit during this process. Losing too many points could affect your chances of getting approved. Here are a few tips to shop for a credit card while minimizing the impact on your credit. Know where you stand. Credit cards have different FICO score requirements. While most issuers don't publicize the exact score ranges, being familiar with your score can give you a general idea of kinds of credit cards you may qualify for. For instance, you typically need excellent credit to qualify for top-tier rewards credit cards. On the other hand, if you have a low score, you may focus on secured credit cards that begin rebuilding your credit. Checking your FICO scores before you start shopping can help you narrow your search to cards that you're most likely to be approved for. Again, cleanall3.com, cleanall3.com. Shop before you apply. There are several kinds of credit cards to choose from: cashback, travel balance transfer, low interest rate, and new to credit, to name a few. Understanding your financial goals and spending habits can help you hone in on the credit cards that are tailored to your needs. As you review credit cards, consider fees, interest rates, benefits, and rewards for each card, and note your favorites. By narrowing your choices to your ideal credit cards, you can keep your credit card applications to a minimum. That's what we like to do. Take advantage of a pre-approval offer. Your credit card might choose you first. Some credit card issuers pre-screen potential customers, and if they think you're a good match, they'll send a pre-approved offer to invite you to apply. Approval is not guaranteed, but you do have a higher chance of being approved. Don't jump at the first card offer you receive. Review the benefits, rewards, costs, and other terms to determine whether the card might be right for you. It also helps to check similar credit card offers online to be sure you're getting the most competitive deal. Okay, now here's one to remember. If you're not shopping for a credit card, optoutprescreen.com. Optoutprescreen.com. Now, if you like getting all that junk mail and unsolicited phone calls, don't do that. If you don't want the junk mail, you want to minimize the junk mail, you want to minimize those phone calls, get registered on optoutprescreen.com. Again, minimizing phone calls, do not call.gov. Do not call.gov. That's the one that'll help you to get on the do not call list. Doesn't always work, but you can try. Take advantage of pre-approval offers. We talked about that. Get pre-qualified. Most major credit card issuers offer an online tool that shows whether you pre-qualify for one of their credit cards. The pre-qualification tool only does a soft pull on your credit, so you can submit multiple pre-qualification requests without hurting your FICO scores. As with pre-screened offers, getting pre-qualified does not guarantee approval. It simply means the card issuer thinks you have a high likelihood of being approved. Once you complete and submit the full application, the card issuer will do a full credit check to evaluate your application. Minimize applications. That is a biggie. Use these tips to shop for a credit card and narrow down your credit card options, so you only have to make one or two applications. This keeps your credit inquiries at a minimum and limits the impact to your credit. The fewer credit cards you apply for, the better it is for your credit. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. And to maximize that credit score with your new credit cards, don't forget rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. We show you right there the best ways to pay for your credit card bills to maximize your FICO score. You don't have to do it this way, but if you want to maximize the FICO score, I highly recommend it. rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. And don't forget, we did do that Borrow Smart segment. I really didn't tell you a whole lot about our sponsor there, rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. It is a great loan. I've yet to go through a simulation with anybody that really, that does the pre-qualification. The pre-qualification, good credit, 700 or above. You've got income coming in. Doesn't have to be doesn't have to be flatline. It can be variable. And you've got a home or you want to buy a home, and you've got some money left over at the end of each month. You're not spending every last nickel that you get. So we do this simulation and look at how much you can save. I just did one yesterday for a young couple. I think they would be able to pay their home off by doing absolutely nothing different in about 10 years. They're looking to buy a home. rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.